Greetings and thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Dr. Jeanette DeWitt, and I am going to talk today about 6 tips to stay on track and stick with your workout or exercise routine or fitness program, whatever you want to call that. My name is Dr. Jeanette DeWitt, and I am going to share with you these tips because this is what I do. I am a life transformation coach. I am a certified personal trainer, and I want to help you out because so many times, right about this time, we start to think, oh, why am I working out? Why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? Oh, this is drudgery. But I want you to change your mindset. I want you to think, I get to work out today. That's one of the first things that you can do is change your mindset around what you think exercise is all about. Exercise is medicine. Movement is medicine. And many of the battles that we face from a health standpoint can be solved by really good exercise and really good nutrition. And when I talk about that, and I talk about these 6 tips, I want you to think about that because there are people who really can't exercise in a way that somebody might think traditional exercise. But no matter what you are able to do, there is always some type of exercise for you. So let's go ahead through these 6 tips. Number 1, choose an activity that you love. I'm not talking about the type of exercise like, oh, I gotta do this. I'm talking about like, I get to do this today. I am excited about it. I'm passionate about it. If you have that kind of love for the activity that you choose, you probably aren't going to miss very many workouts. Let me share a little bit of a story here. I had a client and they absolutely hated to run. And they said, you know, my partner, my spouse at the time, they were a runner. In fact, they were a triathlete. And she didn't like to run. But she did it because that's what her spouse wanted her to do. And she didn't really like that. She liked to swim, she liked to bike, but she didn't really like to run. So on the running days, it was really hard for her to be motivated. And my coaching to her was, don't run. And she like looked at me and I'm like, do you compete in triathlons? And she said, no. And I'm like, then why run? If you hate it, why run? Join your husband on the cycling. Join him at the pool. And then when he goes to run, you do something else that you like. That was complete freedom for her because she actually didn't even think that that was a possibility. But my point in sharing that story with you is that here was a person who actually did like to exercise, but she hated one type of it. There are so many types of exercise out there too. So choose something that you love. If you're new to exercise and you don't know what you like, choose something that you want to try. Maybe that's taking a few tennis lessons. Maybe that's golf lessons. Maybe it's gardening. A lot of people don't think of gardening as an exercise, but if you're lifting pots of dirt, if you're carrying mulch, if you're pushing the wheelbarrow, that's exercise. So exercise doesn't have to be the traditional sport. It can be physical activity. Just get moving and get moving in a way that you love to do. So that's tip number 1 is choose something that you love, not something somebody else loves. Choose something you love. Tip number 2, try it for 10 to 20 minutes. Seriously, a lot of times people start something and about 3 minutes in, they just give up. Well, you really haven't tried it very much. And I would even argue that after 10 to 20 minutes, you might be like, oh, I don't know, I'm not really, I'm gasping for air here. Well, try it 2 or 3 times before you say, I absolutely don't like that. With 10 to 20 minutes, sometimes your body just has to wake up to the movement. And when your body wakes up to the movement, especially if you're an early exerciser, early morning exerciser, sometimes you're just not awake yet. But if you give yourself 10 minutes, you're like, oh, this workout routine's like 20, 30 minutes. I'm already 10 minutes in. I'm halfway there. You'll finish it out. So give it a try for 10 to 20 minutes. Try it 2 or 3 times before you say, you know what, I really do not like that type of exercise. You've got to do that and give it a chance. The other side note on that try it for 10 to 20 minutes is pick an activity intensity that equals the level that you are at. If you try and choose an advanced routine and you have never exercised before, it's going to be very hard for you. You are not going to want to stick with it because it's too much. It's too much for your current level of fitness. So pick something that is at your level. And if you're a beginner, you're new to exercise, you haven't exercised in over 30 to 45 days, pick something that you may see as labeled as easy or beginner, but that's where you need to be. You want to set yourself up to win with exercise, and if you choose an exercise routine that is too challenging, you're absolutely going to hate it and you're going to feel self-defeated. And that's not the point of exercise. Exercise should be fun. It should be at a level that you can talk to another person. If you're like gasping for air, if you're getting side cramps, you're at a level that's too intense. And that's not fun at all. And that's not what we want, because you won't stick with it if it's too hard. Pick an exercise at your level and try it for 10 to 20 minutes. Tip number 3, you have to figure out, are you a me time person or a group time person? Meaning, do you like to fly solo? Do you like to exercise by yourself because maybe you're a more introvert, maybe you want that piece of quiet in your day, you just want to exercise alone and get your time. You have to figure out if that's you versus somebody else who's like, no, I need to exercise in a group. If I don't exercise in a group, I'm not going to do it. I'm a social exerciser. I need to be with other people and having the energy that I can feed off of from them. If that's you, you need to be in group fitness. And group fitness could be online with virtual group classes, or it could be in person with other people. So it looks like different things to people. But you have to decide, do I like me time for my exercise, or do I like group time? And you may like a mix of both. You may like, you know what, when I have a really intense workout, I really want to be by myself on that. But if I want kind of an easy workout, I want to be with some other group because I'm using that workout for social. That's okay. You just need to know what is going to help you stick with it. Tip number 4 is accountability. Whether you are a solo exerciser or a group exerciser, I really encourage you to have an accountability partner or to be in a group, like online fitness group. I offer those to my virtual health membership clients because some of them, they like to just click the button and they do their workout on their own, but they like to share their workouts with other people because it holds them accountable to stick with their program. That's another option. So even if you exercise by yourself, you can still be in a group that's encouraging you and holding you accountable. And when you don't post in the group and share your workouts, they're like, hey, where are you? What are you doing? They're following up with you. Or if you're going to a live class or a virtual class, you're getting accountability from the energy in that class. So that's my other tip to stick with it, is hold yourself accountable with other people, because they're going to wonder where you are and they're not going to let you quit on yourself. And that's really, really important, because sometimes we can get in our own head and we can say, oh, I don't need to work out today. And then that same phrase happens like 3, 4, 5 days in a row. If you're in an accountability group or you have an accountability partner, They're going to be texting you or group chatting you like, hey, where you been? And they're going to hold you accountable so that you stick with your exercise program. Number 5, know your why. So just like that story I was telling you about, the triathlete, her why was she loved to cycle. That was really her jam. And swimming was okay. She liked to do that on kind of easier days or just to feel better so that she could recover for cycling, but she hated to run. So her why was she just wanted to feel good with exercise. She really didn't want to compete like her husband did. So you have to figure out your why. And if you don't know your why, dig deep. Why do you want to work out? Is it because it gives you more energy? Is it because you're trying to lose a little bit of weight? Is it because you're trying to control your diabetes with exercise? Or are you just trying to gain mental clarity? There are people who suffer with depression, and studies show that just a 20-minute walk can help lift some of those depression feelings and those emotions and those sensations. Kids with ADHD do really well with exercise because it gets rid of some of that energy and it helps them gain more focus. So is that your why? You have to figure out your own reason. You can't exercise because somebody else is telling you to. You can't exercise because you want to look a certain way and meet a certain standard. You're never going to really live up to that, and there's always going to be the next thing. But if you're exercising to feel good and to gain confidence, that's a really good why. That's a healthy perspective on exercise. And the last tip I'm going to tell you is I want you to think back when you were playing as a kid. You were running, maybe you were biking with kids in the neighborhood, maybe you played a sport as a kid and you loved it. I want you to think back, even if you were like me, I never played a sport, but I loved going for a bike ride. And I loved playing with my dog and jumping in the leaves and climbing trees. And that was kind of my activity. If that is you, I want you to harness that emotion of being a kid and just playing and having fun and enjoying the moment. That's what exercise as an adult should be all about. Exercise shouldn't be drudgery. Exercise shouldn't be, oh, I have to do this. Kind of like what I said in the beginning of this video. Exercise should be fun. It should be about that little kid inside of you remembering playing with the neighborhood kids or jumping in the leaves or going to the swing park and swinging or climbing on the jungle gym. Those type of feelings, that's what it should feel like when you're working out and when you're exercising. There are so many types of exercises out there that surely you can find something that you enjoy. And that could be table tennis, it could be taking a walk, it could be adopting a pet and taking your dog for a walk. That's all exercise. Or it could be lifting weights in the gym and feeling super confident because you went from 5-pound dumbbells to 8-pound dumbbells. Whatever it may be excited about it. Have the mindset that I get to go work out today. I get to go have fun and I get to enjoy this time exercising, playing, and kind of getting rid of a little bit of stress. So I hope that you find this helpful. These are 6 tips to help you stick with your workout. Just to recap, choose an activity that you love. Try it for 10 to 20 minutes and make sure you're picking an exercise intensity that is appropriate for your fitness level. Figure out if you're a solo exerciser or if you're a social exerciser. Get some accountability. Have an accountability partner or have an accountability group. Know why you want to work out. And last of all, have fun. Be a little kid. Enjoy the moment. I hope that you find this helpful. You have a great day. And as always, if you want to reach out to me, go ahead and private message me, comment in the feed below. I appreciate you. Enjoy your evening. Thanks a lot.